Hey there, my name's Campbell. This is my drawing channel here on YouTube. I also have a mixed media channel. Today I'm going to be drawing a profile with this set of alcohol markers. Now I use Copics a ton. I have published books where all I use are Copic markers to illustrate in. I teach them at my awesome art school. I use them here on YouTube. And the most frequently asked question I get from my students and people that are watching is, what are good Copic alternatives? Because Copics are too damn expensive. So I'm always on the lookout for good alcohol marker alternatives, and that is what this video is about. I'm gonna be diving all into a full-fledged project. The full-length project will be at awesomeartschool.com for my Fun Fab Drawing Club members. If you want to click a link in the description box to learn more about that. Registration is only twice a year, and it's actually coming up on September 24th, so that's kind of huge. So for more information, check below. I'm going to use these markers and I'm going to give you my honest opinion on whether I think they're good alternatives or not. So let's do another profile based on all the things that I've been teaching you for the last 4 weeks in a row. Now I've taught you how to draw them from scratch. I taught you how to shade them. I taught you how to figure out hairstyles, and I taught you how to add expressions. Okay, so today I'm just free floating, putting together all of those ideas we've already covered on this channel. And if you haven't checked the eye in the corner, and that will direct you to the lessons that I'm referencing right now. If you're not familiar, or you want to go back and watch them again or learn how I'm doing these things, they're all here on YouTube for you. You can do that. And thank you to Parkoo for sending me the markers.
All right, so hopefully this should come as a review to you if you've been following along my channel for the last 4 Mondays. We start with the profile in crafting a circle, which is the shape and the size of the head. And then if you remember back correctly, we need to locate the angle of the nose to chin line. So it's great when you're working with a reference because you get that information off of your reference, and then you can just transfer that onto your own paper. So that's the first line of utmost importance. And then the second line that's important is the chin to ear line, and that's next. And both of those can have a very wide variation depending on the individual. Then you want to make sure you have that horizontal line across the center of your circle, and that becomes your eye line, and it also places the ear in the anatomically correct position, even if it is an elf that you're drawing, because hello, they're elves too. They're equally as important as humans, thank you very much, and their ears are actually in the same place. So just because they're elven doesn't make them any less important, okay? Let's not have any elvists around. So anyways, we put the eye in, you gotta back it up. This is a little bit not dead on profile because you can see a little bit of the far side of the eye, but as far as I'm concerned, that adds to a much more interesting profile face, and it adds a little bit more character and depth to your character. So I'm all about having a little bit of a different view there. And now let's go back to the marker assessment.
All right, so first I need to just take a look. See, this is the 80 pack, and I need to see first of all, what do you got going on for skin colors, Parkoo? Hit me up with your skin colors. So there's 80 colors, which is a sizable pack. Okay, to be clear, I had to go run and see how much these cost. Can we just talk about this for a second? These markers are 37 cents each. And I have done quite a few marker reviews that are alcohol marker reviews, and I have not seen anything as close to as inexpensive as these ones are. I'm not even sure that sentence was grammatically correct, but I'm a little bit in shock right now because even Artisas, which have a similar feel to these, are still like $1. 37 cents? That's nuts. That's crazy. So if they're, see? If they're a little bit juicy, which they are immediately, you can tell. Damn, that's awesome. Now they have the little bullet nib, and then they have a chisel nib. You're not gonna get a brush nib for 37 cents, and that's just what happens when you have a 37-cent marker. So I will always miss it if a marker doesn't have a brush nib. But for 37 cents, what? Copics are like $8 a pop. All right, this is a really pretty skin color. This one's okay. So I'm looking for what I would think would be skin tonies.
So yeah, the first thing I look for is skin tones. Second thing I look for is usually gray tones because I love to do a lot of gray tone drawings. And then of course you want to dive in and see what kind of colors they had. Now I have to say the pack comes in like zero order that I could make sense of. So after I swatched out a couple skin tones, I decided that I couldn't deal with a pack in the weird arrangement that they sent it to me. So I just took a minute and I like rearranged them all by color. And then afterwards, I felt a little bit better that they were in some sort of order that made sense to me. And then I went ahead and I grabbed my favorite swatching sheet for skin tone colors so I could really attack my project with care and going into the skin colors that I wanted to be using for the project. And it's really important to have a clear plan when you're starting out, so this helped me to do that.
All right, to help me swatch, I really do need to focus on picking out the skin colors. I am taking a page from my FunFab swatch pad, which is this awesome swatch pad that I made with my Facebook group, and I'm Xeroxing. Well, I just made a copy on my printer and I printed this one out on 2 cardstock so I could, yeah, find those skin colors again now that I have this sorted. So I'm gonna just go and see what they look like. Just kind of quick and dirty. So this one is a little, all right, so this is, what is this? Rose beige. It's actually not a bad color. This is peach, which is really pink. I don't think I would use this one. I think this one gets put back. Peach, not a good skin tone. This is Marigold. Oh, this is way orangey. Although it's actually okay. I'm gonna leave it out. What is this? This is fruit pink. Fruit pink. This is cream. She's so happy. Like a lemon, like a yellow ochre. All right, Marigold now just looks straight up orange now that that's at time. So that needs to go back in the bin. Rejected. Let's try, oh, which one was that? I just did Marigold, right? No, that was cream. This is dark yellow, which really is a dark yellow. Although dark yellow looks good with cream. These have quite an order. What is this one? Dark yellow. Dark yellow and cream look pretty good together though. Raw silk. There's our classic white girl. And then what is this one? Barley beige. Oh, barely beige. So barely beige and rose beige I think are very pretty. All right, not too many choices left, if actually any. I'm gonna do potato brown to get some dark skin tones in. It's kind of neutral. Oh, it's actually not bad. It's way better than Marigolds. Shits and giggles, I'm gonna try raw umber. It's really nice to have some darker, there we go, skin tones. These faces are so funny. That's a nice skin tone. I will try the walnut just to see what it looks like. Oh, that's nice. It's like a yellowy. It actually looks exactly the same as dark yellow. And this is why we swatch. I guess this will be a little bit darker walnut. This cracks me up. This is purple gray and it's like pink. This is why swatching is kind of important. And I guess just for fun, I will try gold. I'm just curious. Oh, hey, that's legit metallic. Whoa, that's surprising. It's also kind of dry. What? Look at it, it's totally opaque. It like covered right over the writing. Weird. That's weird. Don't use that one for skin. All right, so I give it a C for skin tones. Although sometimes, honestly, like the big Arteza pack doesn't have any skin tones. You have to buy them separately. But then when you do buy them, you get like 36 colors. But I think they're still like $1 for each one. So the fact that these are 37 cents is still completely blowing my mind. All right, so now I look for the ones that like kind of go together. Oh my God, the gold is hilarious. What the heck is that? Okay, that is not alcohol marker. So different combinations. Peach, no. Marigold, no. Pink fruit, again, classic. So raw silk and barely beige are the ones that like jump out at me. The reference that I'm using though has like a cool blue. So I actually want to find like maybe one of these blue grays that we can use. Oh, that one's nice. Perfect. Blue gray for some other shading. There's three blue grays. Those blue grays, G1, G7, and G5. But that one's really pretty. So I'm gonna go with this one. Finally, onto the, yeah, I guess I could do these three if I was going down, or actually cream would be a nice one too. Raw silk, I try to have kind of three. Three gives the most depth. Raw silk, barely beige, where are they? All right, here we go, here's our drawing.
So the outline I did with a Copic multi-liner, but you can use actually any alcohol-based marker. So you could use like a fine tip Sharpie for the outline. You could also use a water-based fine liner because they don't interact with the Copic. So they actually make great fine liners and they don't smear, which is a little hot tip for you. So I'm going in with the lightest raw silk color and I'm just doing a nice overall spread around her. Now, a great way to reduce streaking when you're using alcohol markers is to make sure that you move your marker around really, really quickly. It's kind of like keeping a wet edge when you're painting a room. So the faster you move, then the less likely you're going to have streaking. And so as you can see, I grabbed my second color now. Now it's a little rough because there isn't an in-between color between the two. So when that happens, I then go back to the lightest color and I kind of blend the two together using the lightest color. There is no colorless blender with this set, but that's okay because there always is with my other sets and I never use the colorless blender. I always find that blending two separate colors together, just using the lightest color is really the best way to get a nice transition anyways. So I'm not missing that in my pack whatsoever. And then as you can see, I have this blue gray color. I'm using the information from my reference to inform me where the shadows are going on this face. So I'm not like coming up with this out of my imagination. I'm just following the reference as I see it. But it's really nice to have cool tones in your shadows. So that could be blues, that could be greens, and that also could be purples. But I love this gray blue, is absolutely perfect. Now I decided I wanted to do something different, more colorful for her hair. So that meant swatching more colors. So as you can see, I'm swatching some purples, but I really want to go back to real time to show you the blues because they were actually beautiful, beautiful colors. So I'll slow it down to show you that in real time.
Ooh, because of the gold. All right, we got baby blue. Oh, bam, bam, bam. Oh, don't even get me singing. I won't stop. Okay, what is this one? Oh, that's really pretty. On the walnut skin. I like this one, frost blue. And frost blue looks good with baby blue. Maybe we can hit on one more shade. Oh my God, how cute is this girl though? Oh, I like this one too. Maybe that's it. Indian blue. All right, I think maybe I have my 3 colors. Let's do one really dark shade for the drama. Oh yeah, oh, I like their blue shades quite a bit. Boop, 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 boop. Swatching is fun when you don't have a boring square chart. This is Prussian blue. I love that. I love all the blues. So the blues are making me happy. I'm glad I went this direction. Ooh, this is nice too. All right, chalk one up for the blues for this set. Royal. I'm loving them all. Yes, 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 yes. What is this one? Sky blue. Oh, this is nice too. Darn it. Now it's going to be super hard. Oh, I like these kind of better. Sky. These are odorific. Okay. All right. Oh boy. Decision time. Let me try the blue grays while I'm here. Now I'm on a swatching spree. Ooh, that's just straight up gray. Although the grays look nice with some of the darker blues. Oh, I'm on like a swatching frenzy. Look how cute. Ace blue. All right, it's time. It is time. All right, I'm gonna start with the frost. Then I'm gonna go to sky. Then I'm gonna go to Prussian, I think. Oh, yeah, let the party begin.
All right, so I'm starting with the lightest color, blue. It's a lot easier to go, I think, from lightest to darkest rather than darkest to lightest. And I'm just doing kind of an overall coat of the light blue. The blues are really, really pretty in this pack, and so are the greens. So I think this pack really does give you kind of a lot to work with. I'm picky because I work so extensively with alcohol markers. I'm always looking for like the whole thing. But you know, I did get all my skin tones in there, and the blues are beautiful. The lavenders are beautiful. The reds are really nice. So like really, it's a nice set. I would recommend it. So I'm doing, this is the medium color. I'm not really being particularly careful with the hair. I'm just kind of, because of the chisel tip, that is the one downside. I tend to be a little bit more, I wouldn't say aggressive. I'm not really sure what the word is, but I get impatient with the chisel tip because I don't get that like same painterly feel that I do with a brush nib. So I kind of tend to work a little bit quicker and a little bit more raw and less careful, because I don't get, again, that kind of painterly feel like that the brush nib really lends itself towards painting. And so I'm a little bit more careless when I'm just working with the chisel tip, I have to confess. So as you can see, I just have a nice swath of the dark kind of running through there. And then I'm just careful to like peekaboo the other colors through. Just kind of messy, but I just kind of like, I don't mind. Sometimes the process for me of painting or coloring is more important than the outcome. So I'm not super precious all the time about all my work. So I'm honestly just having a really fun time, and then I get a little sloppy, but because I'm having a really fun time. So if you like to be careful and meticulous, then please, 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 I strongly recommend that you work in a style that's good for you. I can very easily get overly loose with my drawings, which can kind of look sloppy, but again, like because I have my music on and I'm having a really nice time, so I just kind of run with it. I'm really happy with her blue hair. I think it really looks nice. That red is a red brown, which I love, love, love. So super happy about that. And then I'm just adding a little bit of like crimson to her lips, just so they're not their exact skin color. Nothing too crazy. And then I'm using the darker skin tone, adding another layer just to punch up the shadows. I can never get enough shading on a face. I just really always like the drama. Now, I thought this was black ink. It's not so much. It's actually just sort of like a Pentel brush pen. There's sort of a grayish, blackish ink in there. And I just had all this leftover space on the left-hand side of my paper. So I wanted to put in there something meaningful or just something, I don't know, that would look nice and make it a whole complete page instead of just an awkwardly placed elf on my page. So I found this quote that I really liked called "The clearest way to the universe is through the forest wilderness," and just wanted to also, was excited to use and try out some of the greens that came with the pack. So I just kind of doodled some leaves to kind of frame her out and fill in the empty spaces. And then I went and found a really, really pretty green that I was able to use for the leaves. So that was, I just ended up really enjoying this set. I can't lie. Look at the beautiful green. It's beautiful. And so the whole page I was really happy with. So then what I ended up doing to kind of like bring it all to fruition was I grabbed my Pentel pocket brush pen that makes really awesome eyelashes. And I kind of used it to kind of like doodle some of the rest of the page. It would have been fine just like this, but sometimes I just can't help myself to go back in and add things. So I have my Pentel pocket brush pen, which is just filled with a black permanent ink, and then I just kind of like put it in the quote, and I put it around her for her eyelashes, and I like added a little bit of her hair, since her hair is a little bit of a hot mess since I was being really loose with the chisel tip again. So I just kind of doodled this around. And I was really happy at the end with how it all came together. I do recommend this set. I think it's an insane value. I think you do get plenty of skin tones to get started, at least, so you can afford a larger set from someone else. And you have plenty of great vivid colors to work with. So I think honestly, it's a good deal. You can see there's a link to the product in the description box, and you can click here to watch the whole playlist of profile videos that I have for you on YouTube. And I'll see you next Monday for another profile.